howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And if you are a bigot, that is a terrible character flaw. I have been outside, even though it is almost noon. And I took a shower and I ate food and I did a bunch of stuff, so I haven't just been sitting around in my underwear or anything. I've been busy, but I finally got outside to make it over to the community center. They now know I'm alive. It is a bright and sunny day, if not altogether warm. So, thumbs up for that. Yay! And I am surviving, and hopefully you are surviving, especially if you're watching this, because if you're watching this and you haven't survived, you are probably one of our upcoming undead overlords, in which case, hi, glad to meet you. I'd like to stay living for a little while, please. Now, I do have some things written down because I just didn't want to forget them, because ADHD brain, I still have to call for an appointment about how I'll get the weird feeling and the ringing in my ears getting loud, and then I forget everything that I'm talking about. And then after like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute, the weird feeling goes away, the ringing also fades, and then everything that I forgot just comes wham right back, and that's kind of disturbing. So I need to call up and get an appointment for that. I do have this though. I have cried in the shower over this. When I first came across this, I posted it on my posts thing, and then I was going to talk about it, and then didn't because I didn't write it down. And then I was taking a shower a couple days back, and I was trying to think. I went, gosh, there was something that really affected me, and I wanted to talk about it, but I can't remember what it was. But I know it was really, really emotional, and do I want to remember? I mean, I don't want to stand here and just cry in the shower. And then I remembered what it was. And then I stood there crying in the shower. So, the game is SKALD against the Black Priory. Priory. I don't know how exactly that's pronounced. I am one of those that learned a lot of words by reading and not by hearing them. And so I pronounce words wrong even now because I've never looked them up, because I never come across it in an environment where I needed to know how it was pronounced. Unlike. That makes sense in a way. When I used the word facade, but because I'd only seen it in books, I pronounced it facade. Thumbs up. But anyway, the game SKALD against the Black Priory. It made me cry. It uses 8-bit/16-bit graphics for, it's all over the top, looking down, like your character is a block with an icon, and everything is made up of, tile, of these tiles, and when you move, you basically stay where you are and the world shifts around you. It's like an old game. And one of them, you're going into this village. One point you're going into this village because you've washed up a horrific mercenary thing going on. And this village is not doing well. And you find this one fellow who tells you that, yeah, one of the reasons he does stuff is he helps feed the one woman outside who's crying by the well all the time because she forgets to eat. And she forgets to eat because she's crying by the well because her children have drowned in that well. And remember, it made me cry several times over several days. So, but from within the well, she is tortured because she can hear her children laughing. But she's not insane because you can hear it too. But yeah, she is emaciated and weak from being out and tortured by the well that enticed her children in and killed them. And she begs you to help her because she would feel a little peace if she could at least bury their bones. And so your quest is to go in there and fetch their bones. I haven't been able to go back and play yet. It may seem a strong reaction to 8-bit graphics and just a little quest thing, but presented so starkly with no bells and whistles, just enough for you to get the horror. And if you're a parent, one of the worst things that you could ever have happen is to outlive your children. It's minor, but it is, if you're in the right place for it, a gut punch. So, just wanted to talk about that. Ugh. So, now that I've been crying for a time, let's take a look at what else I have up here. I might as well do this now. I do play a game of Internet Marco and Polo, where I say out a secret word at some point in the video to be typed out into the comment section for two reasons. Number one, blatant engagement farming for the YouTube algorithm to let it know that people actually watch the videos. And for number two, yeah, just a simple game of Marco Polo, just to see who answers when I yell out into the void. And that's very cool when people actually do. My nose is running, so I'm going to have to stick my fingers in my nose for a moment because my nose is running. And I absolutely hate that feeling, my neurodivergence, of having a wet nostril. Drives me absolutely insane, so my apologies. But the people that answered back to last time's Marco were Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. There are a lot of games that I hope, I mean, even now that I play, that would be awesome if they put onto the Switch. So hopefully I'll be able to remember what they are. But like SKALD, if you like old school RPGs, yeah, that would be worth it. Then there's Calicoi, thumbs up and thank you. That was a cute little emoji of the raccoon. Kill Brianna 420, thumbs up and thank you. Definitely a good thing. We have Toilet Decimator, who took a few moments from decimating toilets to play the game of Marco and Polo. Thank you. You have made me laugh. We have Larry from Space 1856, whom, just as a quick aside, because I've been involved in pen and paper RPGs as a consumer since forever, when they first started coming out with them, I have seen things come and go. One of them from, God, I can't even remember the name of the company. It's like FGW, Fantasy Games Unlimited, something like that. But it was Space 1888. It was Victorian science fiction based on the type of science fiction that they wrote back then. You know, so you could put like this anti-gravity paint on ships so that they would fly into the air, and you could go to other planets on those. So every time I see the 1856, I think Space 1888. So thumbs up. But yeah, that is it. Thumbs up. Thank you all. Greatly appreciated. At some point, hopefully, I will come up with a secret word. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do, I have props up here still, is show off some of the card games still, because I can't frickin'. In fact, the things that I've already showed off, I'm probably going to show off again within the next couple months, because ADHD brain, I can't remember. I was going to say literally, but then that's because my mouth works independently of my brain a lot of the time. And so I'm at odds with my mouth trying to say something, my brain trying to say something else. And I either come to a halt or gibberish comes out. I love that. So, what was I saying? Anyway, yeah, I'll probably end up showing those things up. But these are some of the things that I also have in that little box of card names. One of them is kind of, it's amazing while at the same time being very simple. It's, as they say, one card dungeon. And it really is. On one card, both sides, it has a lot of dungeons on it, because you put it face up this side, and when you go to the other dungeon, you flip it over, and then when you go to the next one, you flip it over, but then flip it this way, and then you flip it that way. So it's got 4 dungeons on one card at the very bare minimum. So that's all you need, just dice and a card. And I've played it, it's fun. It's kind of more a puzzle game, because monsters are put on the card in specific places depending on which level that you're going through, and you have only a limited number of turns and action points. They have turns and action points. So if you mess up, you are going to die. The other fun thing about it, and I haven't played this one, is they came out with an expansion, The Return of MacGuffin. I like the name of their villain. But it adds a whole bunch of new cards and stuff like that. But, well, not a whole bunch, one. But, MacGuffin, of course. I mean, everyone knows the term MacGuffin from Alfred Hitchcock, I believe, is the one that really popularized it in his filmmaking. And then I know I've done this one, and I've even played it for the channel, but Desolate. I've got, I think, all but like one of the expansions for this, and that expansion adds multiplayer. I don't need that, so I'm not gonna buy it. But it's a game where you've got to escape from a space station with a whole bunch of aliens on it. And there's complications, and you've got to get energy cores so you can power up a launch ship and escape from this place that's overrun. It is good. It's very fun. So just thought I'd point that out. It is a good one as well. There are another 2 that I'm going to show off really quick, but I'm not going to show off the insides because, like, there's Paperback Dungeon. And this one, the instructions, I think, are on the inside. Yeah, they're on the inside of the box. And the box opens up like a cube. And it's got the 2 sides that go like this. It's got one side goes this way, at least one side that usually double folds this direction. They have the instructions on that. That's fine. You know what's not fine? On this tan box, they printed in tan text with no black outline around it. I have someone at the door. There is apparently going to be food and stuff, and I might have showed up for that. But they're also going to have, like, people playing instruments, and they're going to be playing games. I guess the song. And with my social anxieties, that sounds like hell. I mean, I appreciate what they're doing, and I'm glad that they're helping out by coming in, and I hope that the other people that go to that enjoy it. But for me, who has social anxieties, that sounds like hell. Plus, they are having food. But with my dentures, I can't eat solid stuff because the top one broke and I could never get it fixed. I only could get a hard plating put on it, which helps, but doesn't fix it. and it's been so long since they've fitted them to the changing shape of my mouth that I can't really chew anything on them because they don't fit. And even when they do fit, I'm one of those people that if I bite anything on this side, they go pop and come off. So I can't bite. Bite on this side, pops off on this side, I can't bite. Bite in the front, pops off in the back. Can't bite. It is just, I'm glad I have them. But I can barely use them for anything more than just decorative, even at the best of times. So yay. Anyway though, I have stuff still written down, and I only have like 13 minutes before I've run out of time and talked too long. One of them is I do have the game Vaporum that I got like 10 years ago, and I'm finally getting around to playing it. I've always wanted to and never did because, hey, ADHD, executive function dysfunction issues. It's one of those, if you know of the game Dungeon Master, where you move in a square and each turn you turn. Now you can run it in so it's real time, or I imagine you can probably run it in turn-wise, but it's one of those you move, you move, you move. And that means there's the combat dance, where if you have even a bad character that is there and moving with you, they will turn because they have the same restrictions, which means you can turn and then move to the side. And then they will they will move into the square that you're facing. You can smack them, move it to the side, at which point they will turn to move where and face where you were, but you've already turned. You're waiting for them to come over. You smack them, you move over to the side. So they turn, move to chase you, you smack them, and then you just keep that up until they're dead. So it's one of those that you can do the combat dance if they give you room. It is usually pretty tight corridors. The thing that makes it thematically acceptable is your character has absolutely no idea what's going on and what this complex is that you're going through. That they sort of woke up and put on this suit, an exosuit, and are heading through this complex, and they don't know what's going on. And it's voiced at some point just saying, what is this place? But you gotta be careful because it's trying to kill you too. But it is fun. I got enough stuff here that hopefully I'm going to be able to get through at least some of it. Oh yes, this one really bothered me. It's kind of simple, but it's about RFK here in the United States, Robert F. Kennedy, with his thoroughly uninformed comments about autism and people who are autistic people. How insulting everything he had said was and how wrong it was. I am high-masking autistic person, and I was so pissed off listening to him. I can barely listen to some things. I can only take it for short periods of time anymore before I have to blitz away from American politics. And that was just one of the things. I just thought I'd mention that, leading into how there is a channel called Dagoth Slur. And there are all sorts of channels out there where you can do AI voicing. And not channels, but sites out there. And there's probably downloadable AI generative things where you can do stuff. Lots of channels out there where they do Dagoth from Morrowind. One of them is called Dagoth Slur. And it's funnier than the others, and that it's still consistently being done even today. But the idea is that Naravarine showed up to Dagoth place, and now they're roommates. Because Indoril Nerevar and Dagoth used to be besties until the Indoril Nerevar was betrayed by, I think it was the council, and he died and then was reborn. Maybe. But the thing is, now because they're besties and roommates, because they used to be besties, the character, Nerevar, is an Argonian. And so it's just like a gecko, picture of a gecko, but painted and cartoony and Dagoth. There's no animation. They're all just picture-y things. And it's all modern day, but still Tamriel. So they'll go to the store to get stuff, and there's Dunmer behind the counter, and they're still having Argonian and Khajiit slaves, and it's just modern but also not. But it's funny, is the point. And it's still going on, even though right now there's sort of a Matrix type thing where the Nerevarine, Indril Nerevar, had an addition to their computer, and it got a little too powerful, and the Nerevarine, the lizard, is sucked into kind of the Matrix and is zooming around inside of that computer system. So it's gotten really weird. Oh, do I have time for anything else? Do I have anything else? I thought I'd mention this one. I had a picture of... I was talking about my Steam games and how there's just a small sliver of stuff, and there are some games that are almost forever games. I mean, even Daggerfall from 1996 could be a forever game. It's more of a life simulator. You can live your whole life and ignore the main part of the game, even back before the year 2000. So I have some forever games. But one person mentioned that on my list there is the game, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's 1000xResist, 1000xResist, 1000 versus resist. But apparently it was made by some theater people. The thing that sold me on the game, and it's cheap, so I bought it. The thing that sold me for the game is I always take a look at the DLC when I take a look at a game, to see what they pulled out of the game and want to sell back to you that they should have put in the game in the first place. First things I always check. So if it's just things like soundtrack, digital art book, hey, that's great. Make some money, get that bag. That's fine. When I went to look at the DLC, not only did they have things like you can get the soundtrack, but you can also get PDFs for piano sheet music for the soundtrack. That was such a step above and beyond the Call of Duty. I went, this has to be rewarded. This sort of thing needs it. And so I bought it. Plus, from what that was talked about in the comments, it sounds like something I would really enjoy. Now, let's see. Do I actually have anything else on here? There's really one last thing. There is a group, a person, I don't know. I refuse to do too much research. Band, person, performance. I've sort of talked about this group before, or person, or whatever. TRHA, and the A has umlauts over it. And I went and copied the name of the artist and the song of an album that I really like. And it says it identified the language, but it wouldn't give me any translation. It just put the thing that it identified over on the English side. But it was saying, oh yeah, this is a language from the people on this tiny little tip of an Indonesian island. Is that true? I have no idea. But it's TRH and then that thing, and then the names of the albums and songs are long strings of letters where the vowels will have accents and umlauts, and then there's like omega. That's not an omega, but there's like Greek symbols in it, so I have no ideas. But the one album that I have listened to and still listen to, and like I put it on loud so I could go take a shower this morning, it's a very complex album. If you're just listening to it, and you're not trying to listen to it, it can be just a wall of incoherent noise. And especially when the singer is very enthusiastic, it sounds just like incoherent screaming. So it is a wall of incoherent noise, drums and such, along with incoherent screaming. Except there's melody and such underneath it as well. And when it's not that loud, you can see that there is very, very intricate work going on. It is not just a wall of noise. It is a very textured wall of noise that can tell a very powerful story. It's good stuff. And then the incoherent screaming is not just incoherent screaming. It is loud. It is in a language that at least I know I don't understand, or presented in some fashion that I can't understand. But even that sounds good and right. So it's not just incoherent noise. It's music. Textured music with singing. It's good stuff. So look up TRHA with two umlaut, well, the two dots over the A. How's that pronounced? No clue. Not gonna try. But call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up and appreciated. And if you are a Patreon patron, you are a beautiful and awesome person. Beautiful and awesome in every way. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and more. And if you've left me a comment, you are a beautiful... my mind and my brain try to go in and my mouth try to go in 3 different directions right there. If you have left me a comment, I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up or heart every comment that YouTube lets me, and I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which isn't as many as I would like, but it's more than you would think. So keep checking the comments if you'd like to see a reply. Yay. Past that, I'm going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself by doing what I have to do, trying to make that doctor's appointment phone call. Do I have anything else past that? Probably not. Taking care of myself by doing things with all of my, well, everything, and various computer games as well. And then, of course, tonight, going for walkies and such like that. A very good thing. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done, because that would be good. Definitely a thumbs up. And if not, please do not beat yourself up. It will not help, and you deserve better. Oh, I forgot to talk about this one, and I didn't finish talking about the other one. I got distracted. So if you could type Rogue Wood into the comments to let the YouTube algorithm and me know that people actually do watch these videos, that would be very, very cool and greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Yay. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Thank you for watching if you watched this far. It is appreciated. Definitely a good thing. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing.